Rapper Kid Cudi is now on the stand in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking and racketeering trial. He reportedly had a brief relationship with Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura nearly 15 years ago. His testimony follows George Kaplan, a former employee of Combs who was granted immunity in exchange for his testimony. He told jurors about the elaborate process of setting up hotel rooms for what prosecutors allege were drug-fueled sex parties called freak-offs. Combs denies all of the allegations against him and says all sexual encounters were consensual. Let's bring in ABC's Rena Roy alongside contributor and criminal defense attorney Bernarda Villalona.
Well, Alex, we saw Kid Cudi walk into the courthouse this morning with a bit of swagger, a black leather jacket, wearing jeans, smoking a cigarette. As you said, he is now on the stand now, and he's already talking about some of the threats that he says he faced while he was in a relationship with Cassie Ventura back in 2011, including one time that he says Cassie called to alert him that Sean Combs had broken into his Los Angeles home. He says that he raced over there to try and confront Combs, so that when he got there, Combs was gone. He said some things had been tampered with. His dog seemed startled. He was locked in the bathroom. So he called police to file a break-in report. And he's also talking about a time from January of 2012 when he says his car was set on fire with a Molotov cocktail in his Los Angeles driveway. Just last week, Ventura testified that Sean Combs had threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car because he had found out about their relationship together. But his lawyers have denied that he had any involvement in any arson. But remember that arson is a part of the racketeering charge that he's facing. So this is crucial testimony for jurors to hear.
And Bernarda, how is the prosecution hoping Kid Cudi's testimony might help them prove that the sex trafficking and racketeering charges are appropriate?
So Kid Cudi's testimony specifically goes to the racketeering conspiracy. It doesn't go to the sex trafficking or to the transportation for the purpose of engaging prostitution charges. In regards to the racketeering conspiracy, you have to prove at least two predicate acts. And one of those predicate acts that the prosecution are trying to prove is that of arson for blowing up the car of Kid Cudi. So that is his main purpose in testifying. But also he's giving context as to Sean Combs, his demeanor, his jealousy, his violent nature, and what he was willing to do to try to separate Cassie from Kid Cudi, which ultimately ended up with ending that relationship while brief it was.
Hey guys, so I just want to say, man, I've been seeing all the love and support, and I just want to say thank you so much, man. People have been hitting me up the past week, just checking in, and even today, and it really means a lot to me, man. You guys are the best. I love y'all. This is a stressful situation. I'm glad it's behind me, and yeah, I love y'all, man. Big love. Go stream Neverland.
And let me just say, Jesse, there was so much testimony. I was just writing things down and down and down again because there was really so much. And we knew about...
people were laughing, right? People were laughing when he was testifying because he made that one comment that he sees Sean Combs, he had a meeting with him, and said he looked like a Marvel supervillain. Were people laughing?
No. Yes, people were laughing, but if you're going to ask if Diddy was laughing, it didn't seem like he found that joke necessarily funny, but there was definitely some courtroom laughter, even from some of the jurors who were in the box. They were laughing as well, too. But Kid Cudi at the time said he didn't think that Cassie was even dealing with Diddy at this point. Diddy had asked, actually, for Kid Cudi's address around this time, and one of the big moments was that Cassie was the one who actually gave Diddy Kid Cudi's address. And so Kid Cudi said he didn't know what Diddy was going to do. Then when he was at the hotel, he actually got a call, or he had spoken to Capricorn Clark, somebody that was Cassie's friend, but also somebody that had worked for Diddy. Capricorn sounded scared on this phone call, pretty much on the verge of tears, because it was Diddy, one of his affiliates, an unnamed person, and Capricorn Clark were at Kid Cudi's home. Kid Cudi was kind of describing that essentially Capricorn Clark was essentially taken by physical force to go with them to Kid Cudi's home while Kid Cudi wasn't even there. Actually called Diddy while he was driving home, and there was some profanity here, so bear with me, everyone. He said, "Mother effer, are you in my house?" And Diddy said, "I just want to talk to you. I'm here waiting for you." And surprisingly, Kid Cudi explained that Diddy sounded relatively calm while he was on the phone speaking to him. So Kid Cudi thought his security cameras were working, and turns out he said someone kind of had moved them and angled them a little bit down, so that way I guess got back into his car, he says, and called Diddy because he wanted to fight Diddy. He wanted to square up essentially and just find him and fight him because he believed that Diddy broke into his home. We saw a lot of exhibit photos from that Molotov cocktail being inside, or not being inside that car, but we saw the aftermath of the Molotov cocktail in the car. So we saw an exhibit photo of the damaged car. You could see a cut at the top of the roof from the Molotov cocktail. The roof was blown out. It's just the aftermath of it. There was this whole meeting at Soho House where essentially Diddy and Kid Cudi shook hands. Kid Cudi said that he didn't necessarily believe Diddy when Diddy had said, Kid Cudi had said something along the lines of, "What are we going to do about my car?" And Diddy said to Kid Cudi, "I don't know what you're talking about." But as we ended the redirect, because there was some cross-examination in between that essentially Kid Cudi believed Diddy was lying about this because, there were some objections thrown here and there, but he kind of snuck in there that he believed that Diddy was a violent person and was the reason behind this Molotov cocktail in his car.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in as we is not another day in the federal sex trafficking, human trafficking, and racketeering charges that are going at Pissy Diddy right now. And the main part of the discussion has also been Nasty Cassie. But today they came with the shocker that nobody saw coming to this case or this trial out of nowhere. Cross-dressing Cudi, as he shocked everybody with the testimony today. And I had links in the description where y'all can watch the clips in the beginning in full from ABC News and Law and Crime Network. And I let a lot of that video play, and I normally don't like to let that much play, but I wanted y'all to get the descriptions of how it came right in the moment from the courtroom and what they had to say about it. And I'm going to get into a write-up in just a second to go back over one of the elements that we've been discussing on the streams on the channel and just in the videos to where are they going with the racketeering charges. As y'all heard right there, this is how they going with it today with the arson situation of it. Now, Cudi was dealing with Cassie at one point, and you heard right there, Cassie said, well, Kid Cudi said Cassie told Diddy the address. He pulled up. He said that he felt like he got played as well in this situation with Cassie, with her dealing with both of them and stuff like that. But she did feel that Diddy would do something, and she said if he told her that he was seeing Kid Cudi, I don't know if they had officially broke it off or not or what, but this is 15 years ago at this time and point. He said Diddy came to his crib, broke in his stuff, also locked his dog in there, went through his gifts and everything like that. He was riding around looking for Diddy, ended up filing a police report when he came down, like, man, somebody broke in my crib. But you got to think how that'll make a nigga feel. Well, we understand Diddy, and it's not right. It's all the way out of pocket, all the way left. No, under no circumstances should a nigga be doing nothing like that. He is a control freak and a power freak over what he thinks is his, as in Cassie right there. Now, I'm going to say this. There is still innocent until proven guilty here. They didn't show direct proof or nothing that confirmed that it was Diddy or not, but we did get to see where they coming with it at, now with the racketeering. One of Combs' trusted employees, Capricorn Clark, called Muscudi to tell him that she was outside his house and that Combs was inside, Muscudi testified. Clark told Muscudi that Combs had forced her physically to drive there with him, Muscudi said. And then when you look at that, they have this as one of the things in the RICO indictment for Diddy that, hey, he forced with kidnapping and the arson being a part of this as well on the racketeering side of things to put those as crimes. And you heard what she said in the beginning. They have to prove two of those things for it to stick when it comes to these type of charges on the racketeering. Racketeering particularly is defined within the Racketeering Influenced and Corrupt Organization Act, RICO, involves a pattern of criminal activity often associated with organized crime to gain influence over legitimate business or to collect unlawful debts. is not a single criminal act itself, but rather a way of prosecuting a series of related crimes to disrupt criminal organizations and their activities. Now, like I told y'all in the other videos and the other streams, the semantics and the words of it are how they want to view it. This is 15 years ago. I most definitely don't rock at all with how Diddy be moving. There was nothing that confirmed it for me sitting right here, but it's all about what the jury is. Now, they said Cassie did testify that he said he was going to do this. She's a witness in it. Hey, he said he was going to blow up his car. The car did get blew up. Cudi felt that he blew it up. Cross-dresser Cudi felt that he blew it up. Cross-dresser Cudi said that, hey, he shook his hand. When he shook his hand after they posted squashed it, he said he held his hand and questioned him about it when they did their handshake. And Diddy said, nah, nigga, I ain't do that. I don't even know what you're talking about now. But Cudi most definitely feel like he did. And I'm going to be real with you. On the outside looking in, a lot of those juries probably feel like he possibly did. But it ain't about what you know. It's about what you can prove in these situations right here. And now they are showing where they getting into where we going to call this a whole criminal organization. It's the lady that worked for him right there. Him forcing her, they probably gonna try to say that that's kidnapping. I'm gonna keep it all the way 1,000 to go look for Cudi in that time frame, in that instance right there. This is just an overall crazy situation. I'm gonna say innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. The process is playing out right now. Y'all heard what Kid Cudi said right there. He talked about his hi guys, whatever. Kid Cudi, just cross-dressing Cudi, weird dress wearing nigga, whatever. But I'm not for a nigga breaking the niggas' houses and doing people dirty, or people getting abused and beat or nothing like that. Diddy has maintained, hey man, everybody that did a sexual act with me, everything was consensual. They were all adults in this, and I ain't gonna lie, bro, the fact that you can't even deny that you did all this weird sexual stuff in the public eye is really crazy in itself, nigga. We just see some nasty eye wide shut, flipping and flopping and catching and pitching type stuff going on with these descriptions. But Diddy and his team are saying he does have a bad temper. He had a drug problem, is abusive, is aggressive, was mean and things like that. But they saying this is not RICO or racketeering. I don't make the rules. Y'all don't make the rules. Nobody else makes the rules when it comes to this but the federal government of what they can charge you with. Now it's in the jury's hands with these type of situations. So we got to look and see what goes on left. Cassie, yep. She got 30 million out the deal, 20 from Diddy, 10 from the hotel. Kid Cudi came in and testified, spoke his truth of what went down with that back in 2011. And you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy stuff going on, man. Yeah, we'll just have to see what happened with it. Diddy, I gotta say, he put himself in this situation, man. You can't let your pleasure, you can't let your thrill get you in your personality, your reputation killed, because that's what they did. Put you on display out there. Like I said, I don't believe that a nigga personal sex life should be put out there in the world. I don't feel like if a nigga's into other things sexually, that should have to be blasted, and that's our business, because I wouldn't even care about it or be looking into it if it wasn't all over the news and the media. But when you put it in people's face, it do kill your reputation, it damage your image and stuff like that, and that shouldn't be happening to niggas. But as a nigga, as a $1 billion nigga in this game, Diddy, you got to know better, nigga. Like, what you really on, bro? You better just keep it cool and simple, because this is how it can play out in the end for you. Getting these people involved, getting people that work for you involved. That's how they get worded. This how they'll do it, especially when they want to take you down through there. And they put all the evidence on the internet now. The pictures, the oils, the pills, the drugs, and all that, man. But tell me what y'all think. We got more coming, more videos, all that. 1,000 for shit show. Stay on your pivot.